There are great marriages out there. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well. I was talking about in another video just that I made about the cheating going on in someone's marriage. Okay, so you might want to watch that video. I think I'll probably put that one up before this one. But anyhow, I got to thinking about the great marriages. You know, I have a great marriage. Has it been perfect? No marriage is going to be perfect. Everyone's going to have problems and issues and struggles along the way, and you have to work through them. And you have to know what to work through and what not to work through. You know, there are isolated situations where a marriage probably should not be saved, but I think that most marriages can be saved no matter what they've gone through, pretty much. You know, not maybe everything, but pretty much people can save a marriage, even when it has gone through even something like adultery. Now, I've talked about that in other videos. If it's chronic pattern of adultery, then that might be a different situation. Although I have known people who've been married to a chronic cheater and they stayed happy, they stayed married forever and into their old age, and they were happy that they stayed married. So it's whatever works for somebody else. I don't tell people how to live their life. I just tell them my perspective on it, okay? And so, but I think if someone has messed up and purposely or not purposely or whatever it was, or put themselves in a wrong situation, often that can be worked through. Forgiveness is necessary. I'm not condoning it, because once trust is broken, boy, it's broken. You don't ever really probably fully get that back, or it takes a very, very long time, and even then you may never get it back. And so you don't ever want to cheat. That's a no-go. It leads to no place good, and it leads to nothing but hurt. And even if your partner doesn't find out about it, it's going to affect the relationship in ways that are very subtle, that just happen. So cheating is terrible, in my opinion, but it's forgivable if that person is regretful and making changes in their life, okay? So a lot of people have thrown away marriages because of cheating has taken place, and I think it just depends upon the situation. Every situation is different. So if you have a friend that left their marriage, don't necessarily think you have to leave your marriage because of it, because your situation may be totally different. The circumstances may be totally different. And so, you know, I understand people who leave their marriage because of cheating, and I understand people who stay together because of it. I think it's a lot harder to stay together, you know, because you have to work through a lot of issues. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about great marriages. I want to talk about great marriages. You know, I know a lot of great marriages. They're not perfect marriages, though. They have problems, they have issues, whether it's financial or this kind of thing or that kind of thing or whatever kind of thing. Everybody gets issues, but there are great marriages out there. Wonderful marriages out there. And you have to remember that there are going to be, everybody's got their problems. Everybody does. Everybody has their personality, things that they've got to work through. But just remember, you know, we hear about the divorces, we hear about the broken relationships, we hear about the cheating, we hear about all that. But the truth is, there are wonderful relationships out there. We just don't hear all that much about them because, well, you know, people like to focus on the negative. But there are amazing relationships. Look around. You know, I see them. I know several beautiful families that have children, and they're so happy. They got their problems. Of course they do. But they are happy. Now remember, what we see from the outside may look very different from the inside. So we've got to remember that too, okay? But what I'm talking about, these are people that I know, and I know pretty well. And they have beautiful relationships. Okay, I have a wonderful relationship, and my husband and I have been through a few things in our own marriage, in our own life. Everybody does. If you have a marriage long enough, he got cancer a couple years ago. We had to go through that journey. I mean, that was really something. And I did videos on all of that. And yet we have this wonderful, amazing marriage. And, you know, every marriage is going to go through stuff. You've just got to decide whether you're going to work through it or not. And, you know, the reason for so many failed marriages is because people aren't willing to work through it. They think their marriage needs to be perfect, and that's an illusion. There are no perfect marriages. There are just a marriage perfect for you. okay, and what you can work through. Some things are workable, some things you can work through, and some things should not be worked through. So we have to know the difference, what should be worked through and what is not acceptable to work through. But I think most of the time, most marriages can be worked through and thrive, and people are so happy that they hung in there. And look around you for the wonderful marriages. Look around you, and I see a lot of them. I probably see a lot more wonderful marriages than I do broken ones and bad ones, you know. And so get busy looking around at those wonderful marriages, whether they're younger wonderful marriages or older wonderful marriages. Marriage doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. It can be wonderful anyhow. From my house to yours, I hope to talk to you soon again. May God bless you. Bye-bye.